My collection of Tokusatsu toys has grown and shrunk over the years. Some very old viewers might have even seen my shelves and walls of toys. As time passed and I moved from place to place, I started to lose my collection for, well, personal reasons as well as making a little extra cash. You know how it is. At a certain point, I only had toys of my favorite shows as well as gifts from fans and friends. Then recently, I had to make a little extra space for my newborn baby. Until I just made room. My Toku collection is gonna look so good here. It's been a long while since I sat in front of a camera like this, but for good reason. This box filled with Toku toys is all because of today's sponsor, JPfans. JPfans is a proxy service where you can buy from Mercari, Amazon Japan, and other sites with no hassle. While many sellers are secondhand, you still can't beat a lot of these prices, as you'll see in the unboxing. Purchases are consistently updated as they reach their warehouse, with pictures included, which I personally really like. Plus, with coupons being added, you don't have to worry about super expensive shipping. Use my referral link in the description and Linktree below. You'll get $86 off your next shipping. And you can show me what you bought, so I'll happily showcase it in the future. If you've ever seen just a regular Kamen Rider belt, a regular Kamen Rider toy, those are most likely the deluxe versions. Then there are the higher tier versions, the complete selection modifications, CSM toys. Those are of course more screen accurate, they have BGM sound, but there is a line that's actually below all that, and that's the Legend Rider series. These toys are a bit on the cheap side. If you've seen me on camera in previous videos and saw the Kuga belt, that's also a Legend Rider version. Now when I say cheap, I don't mean that in a bad way at all, because of course I know not everybody can afford an $80 brand new DX version of a belt of the latest series. So these are a really nice alternative. If you're in the know for the Kamen Rider fandom, Fai's belts can get very, very expensive. Like, even more than you would expect. An Orga driver, like a DX version, can be like $200, and it's still kind of just a hollow piece of plastic. But now, this is also just a hollow piece of plastic at an affordable price. It's 20 bucks more normally. The paint also isn't as amazing. It does feel a little cheap. There's not really any light up parts to it. It's all hollow too. But it does have sounds, and it does still have the function you would expect for the Fai's driver to have. Again, no lights, very little sounds, hollow plastic, but for 20 bucks, I still think it looks pretty neat. And I did want this for my remade History of Kamen Rider Fai's video, which will come out sometime in the next 10 years, and I'm gonna have a cute little like spin around of this and be like, this is a really cool belt, because this is actually a really cool belt. I would love to just like take pictures with these, and I just love to flip this. Like, for 20 bucks, you can't do bad. And how I got this on JPfans, it was even cheaper. So I'm happy with this one. Okay, I just noticed it is missing more functionality because you can't turn it into the gun. I mean, I still kind of like it. If you saw my collection as it was throughout the years, you'd probably notice there's way more Kamen Rider stuff than Super Sentai. And it's not that I don't like Sentai toys, it's just I'm less interested in them than Kamen Rider. You can't beat a belt, honestly, and especially with like how high quality they are. But Super Sentai does have some pretty neat toys, some pretty neat ideas, and some seasons among my favorites have some of my favorite transformation devices in all of Tokusatsu. I just gotta say one name and you'll immediately guess what I bought next. Ninja. Giddy up, cowboy, cause we have the darn burger morpher today. One thing about me that you might not know is that I actually really, really love cowboys. Star Ninja was a saving grace of that stinky show, and this is one of my favorite morphers ever. It's a burger. That's also a phone. Yes, there is a novelty to a hamburger that's also a morpher, but I also like it for just its Tokusatsu reasons. I like the sounds, I like the character. I actually like the design because it's gold and brown, so that way the brown is the actual patty and the gold is the cheese. I got the darn burger morpher. I wanted it my whole life, now I have it. No. Through the many purchases I've had in my YouTube career, I've bought and sold multiple of the same toys over and over. And there's one that just always comes back to either haunt me or because I have a desire for it. This is, I think, my third desired driver. I've said before, this is easily my favorite Kamen Rider driver of all time, but last time I sold it again to make room and for a little bit of extra cash. However, now that I'm rebuilding my collection, I don't think I'll get rid of this ever again. This really is one of my favorites. It still is one of my favorite Kamen Rider drivers ever. And I just love it. Like, I don't think I can get rid of it a third time, you know? I don't know what else I can say that I already haven't said multiple times. Gosh, this is still so much fun to spin. I feel like I'm such a Heisei pill type of guy that it's jarring to hear me talk about something recent and new, especially since I don't really talk about things in depth unless I make ginormous videos about them. So this will probably be one of the few times I actually talk about this show until I make a story of video eventually. I've been really liking Gavin Infinity. I know I should have gotten the whole trigger and not just the single gimmick toy, but I'm not too in love with the toy itself, and I think having it in my hand, I still wouldn't fall in love with it. But I do love these things. The Emo Gears are probably one of my favorite gimmick toys in Tokusatsu. Look at this little guy. I know some people say they're just like rip-off Gochizos, but I personally don't think so. The Gochizos don't show off their little butts here. What an odd concept. Sometimes I do end up having a favorite show, but not having a favorite toy from it. Although I do still try to get a gimmick. And with Gavin Infinity, I'm loving it. Like 100%, I think it is like a 8 or 9 out of 10 show so far. But like I said, I'm not really a fan of the Gavarian trigger. Although I do love the Emo Gear, so I at least wanted one of the gimmicks from it. This thing is so cute. How can you hate this? Look at that. Grr, grr. Okay, so this next one's kind of a funny one. Okay, so I have this SHF Saber, but you might be noticing something. He's missing the darn Saber. I once held its sword in my pocket, and the next thing I knew, it was gone. That was in my old place, so I don't know, maybe it fell in one of the cracks and now the rats are fighting with it or something. I wasn't even trying to actively look for this, but when I saw a new sword for literally 50 cents, I knew I had to get a replacement. Gosh, that's so cool. I love this figure. I don't think I'd ever in my life think about even, let alone finding, the singular SHF sword by itself. But with JPfans, like I said, I wasn't even actively looking for the Saber itself, but it was so cheap. It was right there. He's not naked anymore. And now this is the last thing. This is what took up like 80% of the box. It is such a ginormous haul for such a cheap price. I knew I had to have it. Let me rewind that real quick. So I've said this before. Some of you might not believe me because I love lying, but one of my favorite Kamen Rider shows of all time, probably my favorite Kamen Rider show of all time, is Kamen Rider Saber, which is why it pained me when I had to get rid of a majority of my collection. I even got rid of the 1-to-1 swords, which are some of my favorite things, but hey, sometimes you gotta make sacrifices where you can. And so I'm super grateful to JPfans for giving me this opportunity to help rebuild my Kamen Rider Saber collection. And I did have the actual Seiken Sword Driver a couple of times, but again, I had to get rid of those. Until today. But this time, it's a little different. Of course, here's the Seiken Sword Driver, and I got a few more books to add to the collection. The usual stuff that you would expect. Although I wanted to treat myself to something new for my Saber collection. And that, of course, is the Cross Saber Sword. Oh my gosh, this thing is gorgeous. I mean, the plastics here are a little cheap, but everything else is beautiful about this. If I can get that 1-to-1 sword in my lifetime, I'll be so happy, because this thing is beautiful. Oh yeah, that's a driver. Maybe I will cosplay Saber at my next con. I know that was a lot. However, this next thing blew my mind. This is a custom painted Saber sword. How do they do that? This is beautiful, seeing it like in person, along with everything you see here, plus extra books that are in the box that I don't want to take out. This was an incredible haul to me. Like, if it was just the driver with like the cross saber sword, I'd still think it was a pretty good haul, especially for the price. I think it was around like $60 USD. But with a custom sword and all the extra books, I think this was more than worth it. I think this is going to be something I'm going to treasure forever. This entire haul was amazing. I just can't believe I was able to find all of this. Again, I'm just ever so grateful to JPfans for the opportunity, for the sponsorship, and being able to buy the toys I've been wanting to rebuild my Tokusatsu collection. And in a lot of ways, I don't even think it's just for me. I think some of these toys I definitely will want to introduce my daughter to. I know she'll get a kick out of the burger Morpher. Maybe I'll show her the Ninja and she'll love it, and she'll be so surprised seeing that Papa has the darn burger Morpher. But I'm just being super like cheesy here. And if you want to start your Tokusatsu collection, then you can click the link in the description below. If you use my code or my affiliate link, you'll get $86 off shipping on your next purchase. I can't thank them enough. This has been incredible. Thank you again, JPfans, for this opportunity. And I can't wait to buy more.